Tori. I'm an aquarist here at the aquarium, and today we're going to talk about ray food and the prep that goes into it. So, one of their foods that they get in the morning is a vitamin gel. It's a lot like a Flintstone gummy if you've ever eaten one, except for them, instead of sugar, they've got shrimp that's mixed into it. And it'll come out like this. And we'll cut that up real nice for them. We make it by using shrimp. We use our gelatin, and we use vitamins. Gives them an extra treat and supplements any vitamins that might be missing for them. Sometimes we do get a little off coloration from our vitamin C in there, but it's still good for them. We cut it up small enough for them to eat because their ray mouth is about yay big or yay wide. So they have to be able to get that food in there and chew it up really well. Atlantics and blunts will stay on the bottom the whole time that they're eating their morning supplement. But our cownos like to take a bite and then swim around, so they'll come back and scavenge later. We have to have a good amount of vitamin in the tank to make sure that everybody gets a piece. So we do a broadcast feeding where it's generally cast out instead of target feeding like some of our other animals get. This is the part that they're most excited for. So we have our squid strips, which comes in a pack like this. And this is what they typically get for their lunch and dinner. Squid has a lot of good vitamins in it for them, and so they need that in their diet. It comes frozen in a block, and most of the food is frozen. Being frozen is good because that will kill off other things that may potentially come in, pathogens and things that can make them sick. They'll get about 2.5 pounds for lunch, 2.5 pounds for dinner each day. So when you usually eat squid for calamari, you get the main body of the squid and they'll cut it up into little circulars for you and fry. Well, when they do that, squids have wing meat on them. We don't really like to eat the wing meat. Don't quite know why, but we don't. And so instead of throwing it overboard, aquariums and other facilities ask for it for our animals. It's the same squid that a person would eat, same kind of grade. It's just the undesirable part of them for us. It's very desirable for our rays. And this will go on until the whole block is chopped, and we will separate it into 2 buckets weighed out for their lunch and their dinner. Now, we also give our rays clams as treats. In the wild, they naturally eat clams, so it's good for helping them with their teeth and gives them an extra little treat, something extra to chew. We don't count it in our weight generally. It's generally viewed as just a general enrichment activity or a special treat for dental. And don't really count it for it. This is a food. There's not a lot of meat in a clam. So after we pull out a good amount, we want to get enough for each tray to have about 2 or so, just so they don't fight over it. Once we have them out, we'll put them in here and we'll run water over them, and this will just loosen them up. Because right now they're very iced over, very frozen. Once again, to kill off anything that they might have been carrying in their life. So it's difficult to open them, and after they've been in the water a bit, they'll pop open a little, and I can open the rest with my fingers. So with the rays, we prep their food every morning, every day. Ray vitamin gel gets made up about every 4 or so days, just so they have enough vitamins, because we don't want them to run out. It's a lot of work, but it is a labor of love. So it all works out for them. I will take my gloves off for this part to open up the clam, so I get my nail in there to help me open it. We'll pop open like that and give them a good treat. They'll completely crush up the shells, so they'll take the entire clam into their mouth, chew it up, and in a few days you won't see any shells left over on the bottom. They'll have completely chewed them to pieces, which works well as their teeth, much like a shark, are constantly growing in, and they're constantly shedding them. So this is good enrichment for them, a good snack, and also helps with them for knocking those loose plates out. Generally in the mornings when we come in, I'm doing ray prep, but we also have prepping for our very smallest of our animals, especially our jellyfish. That one will get live brine shrimp, which is set up in a hatchery. Also in the morning, we'll prep the seahorse food for the day, because they're also special feeders. They don't eat the same as everybody else. They get a special mysids mix. It's in the fridge and freezer behind me. So we'll set out cups for them to thaw that out for them and ration it out for them for the day. Our babies also get cyclops with our seahorses, which is a little different from the adults, which is one of the reasons they're in the box. They're getting different food and they're being fed at different amounts of the day. If it's a smallmouth feeding day, because we have different animals with different metabolisms, they don't always eat at the same time as others. Because like our big tanks, if we fed them every single day, these animals would get very obese and they'd have trouble digesting what they've already eaten. Their digestive systems are a lot slower. So if they were continuously eating, food would have a chance to rot in their stomach before it was fully digested, which we don't want. Whereas some of our other critters' metabolisms are much higher, so they get fed about 2 times a day. Smallmouth feeding day, at that point, we would prep smallmouth food. Today, they're going to be eating a small krill assortment. If it was a largemouth feeding day, which is about 3 times a week for our bigger tanks, like our Gulf and our Bay tanks. But it's a labor of love. We really do love our animals, and we want to do everything in our power to make sure that they're having the best life that they can here, which includes us prepping them treats every now and then and getting all their food together and sitting with them just to make sure that everybody's eating and happy, because we do have some picky animals. So it may not look like your Thanksgiving, but these guys sure do enjoy the feast.